Is drinking raw milk safe like RFK Jr. suggests? Can you reduce a glucose spike if you eat your food in, quote-unquote, the right order? I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp. I host a nutrition myth-busting podcast called Bite Back with Abby Sharp. And those are just some of the questions I tackle with qualified experts on my show. There is so much food misinformation and disinformation out there, and it can feel impossible to know what's real and what's BS. On Bite Back, my goal is to help listeners create a pleasurable relationship with food, their body, and themselves, which in my opinion is the fundamental secret to good health. Listen to Bite Back wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Hey Toronto, this is Ed Sheeran.
This is Kelly Clarkson.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
This is Adele.
This is Madonna.
It's Michael Bublé, and you're listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep Show. It's fun. They're amazing.
It's almost Father's Day, and it's got me wondering about gifts for Father's Day, right? I mean, there's the typical ones that, you know, the cliche gifts, if you will, like a tie, a coffee mug.
Tools.
Back in the day, maybe like an ashtray you made in school.
Yes.
Which seems so weird now that you just like craft dad an ashtray.
Yeah. And now you can't find an ashtray even when you look for one.
Dad's like, thanks, I don't smoke, but I guess I'll put my peanut shells in here. I'm wondering.
I'm guilty of buying all of those gifts for my dad.
Yeah,
by the way.
I probably did that when I was a kid as well. But I'm wondering, how do we feel about flowers for dad?
Flowers for dad.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, one, I've never thought about it. But two, if I was to get my dad flowers, like what kind of flower would I get him? I don't know what his favorite flower is. We've never talked about it.
And what would your dad's reaction be? Would your dad be happy? Would he be weirded out? Would he be touched?
You know what? I think he would actually like it because, one, he's never received flowers before. So maybe he's just like, oh, the novelty of it. But also my dad likes to garden. He likes to, be in his yard and he actually plants all the flowers. So I have a feeling he actually likes flowers.
Appreciate a good flower.
Yeah.
You should try that for Father's Day. In addition to whatever else you're getting him, get Dad a nice bouquet of flowers. And you know what? I'm just thinking this out loud. You know how they jack up flower prices 2 times a year, right? Valentine's Day, Mother's Day?
Yeah.
You probably get flowers at regular price leading into Father's
true.
Day, so you're not paying the
It's economical.
the 3X. Unless all of us start doing it, then they will start jacking it up for Father's Day.
This is not a bad idea. My only fear is like I'm going to pass it to my dad and then he's going to be like looking behind me and around me and be like, what else? Like, just the flowers, Dad.
Okay, so here's the thing. If I receive flowers, I don't know how I'm not a father, but I mean in general, if I receive flowers, it's nice and they're pretty and they look great. They
Would you even know what to do with them?
You put them in a vase. You cut the stem at a little angle. You put in a little. Yeah, come on, man.
Who are you?
Listen, I've received flowers before.
You have,
and they're like it's nice. Especially when you live in a condo where you come in and it's sort of like your whole space is visible right away.
Yes.
It catches your eye. It gives a nice pop of color. I like them in that sense. Here's the part I don't like. They're so temporary. Like they start wilting. They go from like the happiest looking thing to like super sad and depressing with like 4 days. Like what is it? Like it's wilting and it's dying.
That's more time than you get with like your favorite meal, right?
I guess. You
like
know
it
what?
brings you joy, but then you're done.
You know what I would say? I would like receiving more than flowers is like a plant, a nice low maintenance plant.
Yes, you're a plant dad.
I'm a plant dad. A nice like needs partial sunshine, watering once a week, low maintenance. Like give me a snake plant or a cacti. Maybe a nice little succulent put on the windowsill. Like I would appreciate that even more than flowers.
Okay, I don't know. Like I'm glad that you're open to it. Don't know how it's going to go with my dad. What do you think about dads getting flowers for Father's Day? Should we start a new tradition?
Have you guys ever, you and Steph, have you guys ever bought flowers for a man?
Yeah, I bought them for Stefano's birthday like 2 years ago because it came in this really cute little wooden
toolbox
vase. No,
there was a tie.
That he wouldn't have appreciated.
Wooden ashtray.
It was like a little wooden vase. It was so cute the way they did almost look like a barrel. And then it had really nice like whites and greens and then some like cream colored flowers. It was like a neutral bouquet. It was so cute. I'm like,
And he
what was
and he
it?
was like, oh my God, those are so nice. He's like, thanks. He's like, I've
So he liked
never
them.
gotten flowers before. I'm like, you're welcome.
Have you ever gotten flowers for Paul?
No.
Okay, I think you should experiment for Father's Day. Paul's a father, your dad's a father, obviously. Get them both flowers, see what the reaction is.
Can I say Gurdeep made me do it?
Maybe later. Don't disclose that right away.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Do men like receiving flowers? We don't know the answer to this. We want to hear from you. Ed in Toronto, what say you?
Flowers are classy, and I think
they're great in many other places other than in my home. I like plants. The problem is some of them have a scent.
Yes.
And it reminds me of a funeral home.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it's not the visual, it's the smell, and that I find very upsetting. And the other is I probably make them nervous as all get out because I keep thinking, are you going to drop that pollen? Are you going to drop it, from the inside? So it's best I go and see other people who have classy homes. Anyway.
So is that a yes or no? You like receiving flowers?
No.
That's a no. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Thanks, Ed.
Okay, take care, all of you.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
They do tell you that you should talk to plants, right? Like that helps them grow. I mean, Ed would be having a conversation about, don't you drop your pollen. Those things stain.
Do men like receiving flowers? This a few days away from Father's Day. Connie texting in at 981 saying, no, what man would want them? Fresh or in a pot, flowers are high maintenance. All my father wants is to win the lottery. Okay.
Yeah, I guess if you gave them the choice, lottery tickets or flowers, they're going to pick lottery tickets.
I'm taking my chance. I mean, both are pretty temporary.
Yes.
Probably, right? I'm
Yes.
taking my chance on the lottery ticket.
It's true. All right, let's take another call here. Chris from Brighton, what do you think about receiving flowers?
I would say no.
How come?
Okay, so there's got to be an age limit on it.
Okay.
How do you mean?
You age out of
Maybe
flowers?
70 plus, then I would find it acceptable.
Wait, hold on. If you were over, how old are you now, Chris?
I'm 45.
Okay, so in 25 years, you green light to flowers. Absolutely, all the flowers, but not now.
Sure, not now.
Why 70 plus?
Because as you get older, you have a different appreciation for different things. As a middle-aged man, I don't think it would be acceptable to receive flowers. I'd be like, okay.
Would you even know what to do with them?
I play in the garden all the time, and I buy my wife flowers and my daughter flowers, and I do know how to maintain them, but it's not for me.
So, Chris, you have a daughter. If your daughter...
I have 3 daughters, actually.
Three daughters. Okay, so if one or all of your daughters gave you flowers this Sunday for Father's Day, your reaction would be what?
It would be kind of okay, and then I'd kind of check my masculinity. Did I do something here?
Perhaps the most stereotypical conversation we've had, but I get it. That's the way you feel, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Makes
well,
sense.
we're going to put you down for a no, a strong no. But we'll circle back in 25 years. Chris, thanks for the call.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Have a good morning.
The Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI. The Daily Double.
With Pooja and Gurdeep.
Okay, here are 2 stories you need to know. What do you have, Gurdeep?
Okay, so if I told you a Canadian was front and center in the NBA Finals last night, you'd probably say it was?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? Am I saying his name right?
Rolled right off the tongue. You can all just go SGA. That's what
Why
everybody
don't you
calls
just call him
him.
Shea? Me and Shea go way back.
SGA.
Yeah. Shea from Hamilton. Let's go with that.
All right. Well, it wasn't SGA. It wasn't Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Who was it?
It wasn't the MVP. The Indiana Pacers won Game 3 last night of the NBA Finals, 116-107 to take a 2-1 series lead. By the way, most experts before the finals had OKC winning this series handily, like in 5 games, max 6. It's now 2-1 Indiana. And the Canadian who led the way was Benedict Mathurin of Montreal, who's a bench player for the Pacers. He doesn't even start. He only played 22 minutes of a 48-minute game, and he had 27 points. And now the Pacers, once underdogs, are actually the betting favorites to win the NBA Finals. No matter which way this goes, 2 Canadians will be winning NBA titles. Each team has a pair of Canadians.
Nice.
This is significant because only 10 Canadians ever have won NBA titles. So that number is going to jump from 10 to 12 regardless.
Do you remember when we were talking about basketball in Canada and how it's like this growing sport? Like, that wasn't that long ago. I mean, I could argue now, we're there.
Yeah, and
we're there. Basketball is alive and well.
And what Steve Nash did 20 years ago for kids like SGA back then, SGA is now doing for kids who are 6, 7, 8 years old and will be in the league in 20 years.
I love that. Okay, here's a story for you. Do you suffer from office chair butt?
Sorry? Office chair butt?
Yes. You can probably guess what it is because so many of us do sit in an office chair, slouched over a computer for many hours in the
Is this
day.
like carpal tunnel for your butt?
Yeah, but instead you have like a droopy, floppy, saggy butt. And what's actually going
Droopy
on,
butt.
yes, is atrophy of the gluteal muscle group that's caused by chronic sitting.
Steph, she's talking science
We're
again.
talking science. So obviously you got to have movement. That's the lesson here is every 30 90 minutes max, you should be getting up and doing something. Maybe, stand while taking a phone call. Maybe when you're going to go call your coworker, instead of calling them, go walk over to them. Take the stairs. Like, all the things that you can be doing. Standing desks. There's like that thing where you can sit and run on the spot while you're sitting.
Oh yeah, and there's there's ways around
this.
this.
There's ways around this.
Absolutely.
You don't want to have a floppy office chair butt.
What's it called? Office chair butt?
Yeah.
See,
if you go on TikTok, there's a bunch of videos of how to avoid office chair butt. It's a thing.
I feel like there's a missed opportunity because I really like alliteration. They should have called it atrophy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, we didn't have the bleep thing handy, but yes, I know what you're.
You know what I mean.
I know what you're saying.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
And we are looking for that stuff your dad says. Why do dads say so much classic stuff?
I don't know, but it's the stuff that sticks for some reason. They're dad-isms, if you will. It's just the stuff that like your dad has a saying for everything, and sometimes they're hilarious. My dad has so many. How much time do you have?
Yeah, your dad's a character. Well, we're lucky for you. We're doing this all week.
Yeah, that's true. And we have some great prizes for you to win as well. Like my dad, for instance, if, growing up, I'd be like, oh God. He'd be like, yes. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you called? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you said, oh God. I'm like, mm-hmm. And he's like, good old dad.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what?
Oh, wow. That's so corny. I love it.
What? So then we stopped saying that.
Oh, God. Good old dad.
Because he'd be like, yes, every time. But
wow.
Did your dad have one?
Oh, God. My dad's got so many, just like you. I don't think a week is enough to tell them all. But the one I've shared recently, anytime we didn't get up by our alarm in the morning, they'd sort of come in once, knock on the door, and my brother and I wouldn't get up. We used to share a bedroom. At 7:45, my dad would come back, and that'd be like the final call. He'd knock on the door and be like, it's 7:45. And you're late. But he wouldn't be mad. My dad never got mad. He'd say it with a big smile on his face.
So
he was
cute.
pretty proud of the line. So that's when we knew, okay, that's Dad's way of getting us out of bed.
And so now every time you see 7:45, you think of the line?
Anytime we're doing a time check in here, and if it happens to be 7:45, I will work it into the show. Because when I see that, it's burned into my brain.
Yeah, I love the things that our dads say. And, whoever that person is in your life who's your dad and the things that he says, we want to hear from you. We're calling it stuff your dad says, but it's really the dad-isms.
The dad-isms, yeah. And we're not just asking this for fun. I mean, we want to laugh. If you make us laugh, we are giving away prizes.
The Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
this is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Sister and I, for us to eat our green vegetables, no green in your stomach, no green in your wallet.
I love that. Hey, listen, man, you don't eat your vegetables, you're not getting your allowance.
Okay.
I like that.
That's good.
The other person says my dad would say, stop picking your nose or your head will cave in. That's quite the visual.
I love that. Okay, let's go to Katie in Ancaster. So what's your dad-ism?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. Starting from when we were kids, we used to play Nintendo 64.
Classic.
So he used to always have the excuse of oh, the controller's broken. That's why I'm losing. So we would always switch. We'd be like, okay, you can have mine. And he would still lose.
Wow. So no matter what controller he was using, it was broken because you're crushing him at GoldenEye or Mario Kart.
Right. And then now as adults, we've all actually got into golfing. And now it's, oh, your brother's winning. But, I have a sore foot and I hurt my finger.
I love that your dad is competitive with his own family members.
Oh, for sure.
That's so funny. I love the excuses. And Katie, guess what? We like it so much. We love that you and your family are now into golfing because you just won a $500 gift card to Golf Town.
Oh, my goodness. That's amazing.
Yes. I mean, there's all sorts of ways that you can spend it, but I'm sure you'll find a way with your family.
Oh, for sure. As a family, it will be shared.
Would
love that so much. Golf Town has everything you need for golf, including, of course, golf balls, tech, polos, golf shoes, clubs, accessories. Happy Father's Day to your pops. What's his name, Katie?
Dave. And yes, happy Father's Day to him. He's going to love this.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Well, I've got two of them. He used to say to people that would come into a crowded room and have nowhere to sit, he'd say, sit on the floor and let your feet hang down.
That's cute.
And the second one, I don't know if you can say it on the air, but he used to say, stick your thumb up your bum and sit on your elbow.
That's quite the visual you've painted.
And we got that ever since we were small, and we used to say, Dad, I can't do that.
And
Amazing.
Debbie, do you repeat any of this in your life now?
Always.
Oh.
I have children and grandchildren now, and whenever we're around and there's a crowd and the last person comes in the room and there's nowhere to sit, that's my go-to saying.
Oh, we love that, Debbie.
I love that. Yeah, Debbie, are you a fan of golf, or anyone in your life a fan of golf?
Yes, actually, I have sons-in-laws and daughters-in-laws, and my son, everybody's involved in golf.
Okay, well, congratulations for sharing your story with us about your dad. You just won yourself a $500 gift card to spend at Golf Town.
Woo!
Oh, wonderful. That will get shared around for sure.
Awesome. I love that you share that. Is your dad still with us?
No, my dad is passed, but I still remember him fondly.
So, Michelle from Toronto, what's that stuff your dad says?
So this was actually a story that my father-in-law said. And once my husband and I heard him make reference to some shopping trip, and he wasn't able to find these extra large rubbers. And we were looking at each other in shock, my husband and I, and we're really confused. And, he's going on about how he was frustrated and couldn't find these things. And in the end, we discovered that he was talking about the rubber covers that go over your shoes, your dress shoes.
Oh, rubbers.
In the meantime, we thought he was talking about condoms.
Right. That's what I thought. He was looking for extra large rubbers and going to the store and asking people for extra large rubbers.
Yeah, that's right. I assume it was a shoe store, so they may have been extra confused.
Michelle, I love it. You guys must have just been on the floor laughing so hard.
Oh, I know. And he's such a conservative man. So, we're at the dinner table, I think, now that I think about it. And my husband and I I had tears in my eyes. I was trying so hard not to laugh. And he could tell we were, snickering, and we were just dying inside.
Well, now I have to know, Michelle, did he ever find the extra large rubbers for his shoes?
It was a while back, but I'm pretty sure he did.
I love that. Michelle, we like that story so much that guess what? You have just won a twosome to my charity golf tournament coming up Monday, June 16th, valued at $500.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're going to be there, so we'll be excited to see you as well. Do you golf?
I golf a little bit. My husband's definitely more of a golfer than I am.
Okay, so if you want to give it to your husband or anyone else, or you want to, it's totally up to you. You can do with it what you will. But it's a great day. It's a beautiful course, 18 holes. There's breakfast, food stations. It's all for an animal charity, so it's coming up this Monday.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
The Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI.
We're looking for your dad-isms, the stuff your dad says.
And you have a lot of them. You're texting us at 981-981 with them, including this text that says, your dad used to say, I'm kind of a big dill whenever he sees a pickle.
Wow.
I'm kind of a big deal. Such a dad thing to say.
I like that. That is such a dad thing to say. Lily from Toronto texting in saying, for the dad-isms, I'll say, are you joking? And then he'll go, no, I'm Jim King. And then I responded going, oh, I guess your dad's name is Jim? And then she goes, no, it's not. That makes it even better. What? That is so random.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, another one here. My dad plays golf. He always brings 2 pairs of pants. I asked him why. He said, in case you get a hole in one.
Wah, wah. Okay, I thought it was in case you... No, never mind. I'm not even going to go there. Okay, let's go to Jeremy in Burlington. Do you have a dadism for us?
Oh, I have lots of stuff my dad says to me. And a lot of them are golf-related. We golf a lot, so a lot of them are golf-related. He said, that one's got more sand on it than a toddler's diaper at the beach whenever he hit it into the bunker.
Wow. Okay.
And he also says, looks like you're playing army golf. Left, right, left.
I've definitely been guilty of that. Army golf, just slashing it all over the course. I love that. Jeremy, do you still golf with your dad?
I do as much as I can. Yeah, he's had some surgery a little while ago, so it's tougher. But when he's able to get out, we get out and go.
Jeremy, is he better at golf than you before the surgery?
Absolutely not.
And he's chirping you about the beach and army golf?
Oh, he chirps all the time. Doesn't matter. Like, you could hit a perfect shot and he'll still have something to say about it.
Oh, I love that. I actually just love that you have this with your dad too, because what a great bonding experience. So much happens, I hear, on the golf course.
Yeah, and Mom doesn't know anything about it.
And why does it take all day? Yeah, these are great. And by the way, if you text us, always attach your name and your city so we can shout you out, because this one doesn't have one here. But I love this text. It says, my dad married my mom when I was 10, and he used to say, you did not come from my fruit, but I'm so glad you were the apple that came with the basket.
Aw,
Isn't that so sweet? It started off a little offside, and then it got so sweet.
It's so sweet. I love that. Okay, and Marissa from Brampton writing us, my dad would often say to any young child in the family, drink some water for me, I'm thirsty. And of course, the kids would run to the fridge, fill their glasses with water, and drink it. A great way to get kids to drink water.
Wow. Until they get to a certain age, they're like, wait a minute. I see what you're doing here. Okay, what are your dad-ism stuff your dad says? Let's go to Corey in Uxbridge.
Okay, well, my dad is hilarious. I love him to death. And he always makes us laugh because he butchers every name that you can think of. If it's a movie star, if it's a restaurant, a store. So to give you some examples, I'm sure you're familiar with Crackle Barrel in the U.S.
Yeah.
We go to Florida usually every year as a family, and he calls it Crocker Blocker.
Crocker Blocker? Let's go to the Crocker Blocker and get some extreme fajitas, pizza shooters.
Wow.
And for us, we know what he's talking about, but whenever you have like a friend or a family member around that aren't familiar with what he's saying, you always have to translate.
What else? What else does he butcher? I'm so curious.
All right. So when I was a kid, he used to make Five Alive, the juice.
Oh, yeah.
And he used to call it deli sink, which is the French translation.
Oh, yeah, on the back, the deli sink.
On the back, yeah.
What a character.
Maybe that's due to my mom maybe putting it in backwards, but it's stuck. So now even my kids call it deli sink.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
You're making us laugh with all of your texts, by the way.
A great text coming in from Rita saying, my dad does something that has my son confused. Growing up, my son's name is Aiden, but my dad forever, for some reason, called him Nathan. What? So he calls his own grandson, who's named Aiden, calls him Nathan.
Oh, wow. And Aiden's like, yes?
Like, we didn't have these fancy newfangled names when I was a kid.
Your name's Nathan.
I'm going to call you Nathan because
Let's
that
go
makes
with
sense to me.
Nathan. Dolly writing us saying, my dad always says, I don't have a dad bod. It's a father figure.
Oh, that's good. That's pretty good.
That's really good. All
like
right, let's get to some calls as well. Let's go to Roya in Curtis. What's your dad's?
My dad's favorite thing. Well, first of all, he's obsessed with like natural remedies. So his favorite thing is to tell me how healthy cucumbers are. Like constantly, cucumbers are the healthiest thing. He has a Persian accent, so I always mock that. But anyway, whenever I talk to him, he reminds me of how healthy cucumbers are. I was at his house and my face was a bit red, and he covered my whole face in cucumbers.
Just like made you lie down and sliced up cucumbers and put them on your face?
Yep, and not neatly, just like all over the place.
Wait. And did it work?
No. Not at all, but it was fun.
So your dad believes in cucumbers for all things. Like he's constantly eating them. He's using them for swelling and inflammation, for redness. Like what else?
Everything. He told me to go home and put cucumbers on my face. So I did it, sent him a picture. And again, it did not work. But that's okay. It was fun. I ate them, by the way.
Wait, after they were on your face?
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, she knows the benefits of cucumbers. Her
You
dad
need
tells
something
her.
off the floor in the studio. Just saying.
So, like, the chances of us going to maybe visit your father and him having a cucumber handy, high, you would say?
Well, he went to the store specifically for like 1 billion of those mini cucumbers. And my stepmom was like, why are you always going to the store? And he was like, my daughter did not drive 150 kilometers to not eat cucumbers.
Wow. So this is like my big fat Greek wedding, but instead of Windex, it's cucumbers. Roya, we love this. And guess what? Because of the stuff your dad says, you have just won a Rogers Beyond the Seats tickets to the Toronto Blue Jays game.
Oh, Oh my gosh!
Yay! I have a
That's
feeling
amazing.
I know who you're going to take.
Of course.
Yes, it's going to be you, your dad, and some cucumbers.
Of course. Do they let cucumbers into there?
You have to. I think you're going to have to
They're
stick
going to
them in.
confiscate my cucumbers.
And by the way, you can purchase your Rogers Beyond the Seats tickets to any Blue Jays game. You can enter at rogers.com/Blue Jays with contests all season long. Roya, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Listen to Pooja and Gurdeep live weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Only on 98.1 CHFI.
Toronto's perfect music mix.